academia sure has been... But...
Traveler, Paimon.
Sino! It's been so long since we last saw you!
As do you. You don't seem wary at all from your travels. If anything, you seem... So.
Oh, nothing in particular. I'm just...
Funnily enough.
Really? You were thinking...
Indeed. You really want me to say the rest? Okay. It's always rice to meet stew again.
Oh, darn, he said it.
You like that one, huh? You must if you remember it after all this time. Admit the truth. You have long been in awe of my razor-sharp wit.
All right. Here's your 500 Mora. Paimon's never making a bet again. Paimon really thought Sino would be able to hold back on the jokes. They say people can change, but maybe that's just wishful thinking.
Ah, so this was technically my fault. In that case, I'll treat you to some sweets later. Anyway, I'm actually investigating a case right now. My mind is focused on work, which is why I didn't complete the joke at first.
A case? What happened?
Nothing major. But after finding out who was involved, I decided, on reflection, to handle this one myself.
Need any help? We only came here to hang out, so we've got the time. You may as well take us with...
Such enthusiasm.
What?
Obvious enough. All right, follow me.
Onwards. We have work to do.
Do you see him? The old man flailing around?
Oh, is he the one you wanted to...
Correct. His name is Cyrus, a former Spontamod sage. He taught both me and Lisa.
Huh? Sino's teacher is in trouble?
It's ridiculous. I'm just an old man who enjoys a spot of gardening, shopping, and wine. What sort of person targets an old retiree?
Professor, I've brought some friends.
Ah, Sino. Now who do we have here? Hold on, let me think. A flying fairy dressed in white? A youth who does not seem to hail from this land? My goodness. You must be the legendary traveler in Paimon. I've heard all about what you've done for Sumeru.
Wow, looks like we're really famous.
I've told him about you before. You are my friends, after all. That's right. Let me summarize the situation. A couple of days ago, Professor Cyrus suddenly received a threat letter.
A threat letter?
Exactly.
This is the letter in question.
Cyrus, I have uncovered your secret. If you wish to prevent it from going public, leave 10 million Mora at the back door of the cafe. Secondly, don't come looking for me. You'll never find me. But I will always be watching you and all of your secrets. Finally, if you dare to report this to the Matra, there will be consequences. Wow, they sure didn't mince their words.
Clearly, this person must be desperate for Mora.
10 million Mora, what a joke. I'm just a single retiree with nothing to my name beyond the tomatoes in my garden. Where do people think I'm hiding 10 million Mora, huh? In my tomatoes?
There were no witnesses, so currently the letter is all we've got. So, Traveler, Paimon, let's put our heads together.
Paimon's rip.
All right, take a look. Do you see anything suspicious? Very good. The paper has a rather rough texture. It's not the typical kind you see in most books.
Another thing is, some of these strokes look kind of blurry. Could there be an issue with the ink?
Possibly. And I bet the paper has something to do with it.
Most of the paper around here is much smoother than this, and the ink is absorbed quickly so it doesn't run. This paper, meanwhile, it's very coarse-grained, almost as if it's made from some sort of plant matter.
It's certainly not the same paper as we use in the academia, but the ink is nothing special. Just regular black ink that gets a blue tinge when applied to paper.
So do we think the culprit has a connection with the academia or not? Wait, check this out. Looks like this part got wet at some point.
Agreed. The staining suggests it was a colored liquid, not plain water. It also looks like it was wiped off with a damp cloth.
A colored liquid. So, tea? Wine?
Looks like we're thinking along similar lines. Let's go talk to Arof. There are some things I'll need him to take care of.
Mahamatra Sino, Sir Cyrus. Ah, and the
As such, I'm inclined to believe that the culprit in this case is a student. Oh, one last thing.
Oh, of course! You think the culprit spilled their coffee on the ladder, huh?
They do look like also.
Ah, of course!
Understood.
You have my gratitude.
One last thing.
Will do.
Great thinking, Sino. So, where do we think the culprit's at right now? probably been lying low at home waiting to see how Cyrus reacts.
You're right, Paimon.
Really?
The culprits approach. Whatever happens, and crucially,
Huh? Wait, are you saying...
Found you! You wrote the threat letter!
I don't know what you're talking about.
I sensed someone was watching us from the shadows the moment we entered the House of Dana. You managed to stay relatively well. There are a lot of people here, but we were looking specifically for Arav. Whoever followed us the whole way was likely to be the culprit.
I was just listening in, that's all. You know something big's going down when Mahamatra Sino shows up, right? So I got a little curious. What's the big deal?
You smiled when Arav left. I saw it as clear as day.
Is smiling a crime now?
There are coffee stains on the letter. You mixed some coffee with water, gently smeared it onto the paper, then wiped it off with a wet cloth, all to create the impression that the letter was written at a cafe. Closing off the exits to the city doesn't affect you, because you already live here. And as long as the Matra were focused on the cafes, you would be free from scrutiny. The cafe was a red herring all along. You had to be somewhere where you could monitor the professor's movements.
You can't pin this on me! I haven't done anything!
Really? Then why are you shaking like a leaf? The innocent have no reason to fear the Matra. But you... your heart's racing, and your eyelids are twitching. You're a terrible liar.
I would never...
Don't try anything or you'll pay the price. Now come with me.
Well, that was over quickly. Sino already caught the guy.
You're telling me. 1 minute I go out for a quick smoke, the next minute I see Arav already on his way back to meet up with Sino. Looked like a young guy, too. Couldn't have been much more than 30. But after what he's done, I'm afraid he's ruined his whole future.
Everyone, it's all over.
Gosh, that was so fast!
The culprit's name is Raka, a 16-year-old student in the Rataoist Darshan.
Huh?
16? Cyrus thought he looked 30-something!
We checked his records. He's 16, a third-year student.
But he looks so old.
Yeah, seriously!
Foolish child. He's too young for the criminal life. What the devil drove him down this path?
We questioned the culprit regarding his motives. He,
Oh, just spit it out. Nothing can surprise me at this point.
Very well. It's our understanding that Araka is a mediocre student who has been underperforming in his classes. He started taking extra tutoring to improve his grades, but developed a gambling habit around the same time and lost a lot of mora. Down on his luck, he went to the tavern for a drink and overheard some people chatting about Sir Cyrus's comfortable retirement. They mentioned that he's always arguing about his tomato plants with some old woman on the street.
Some old woman on the street? Goodness gracious. Has that rascal attended a single one of his classes? That old woman is Kasharwar's very own professor, Zaha Hadi. How can he not know who Zaha...
Is this go...
Oh, right.
Maybe it's more than...
Araka mentioned Araka believes this...
Oh, Arav.
People make up...
Arav.
I completely...
Oh, come on.
The academia...
Who said... You seem confused. Uraka is just all it costs me.
Please rest assured.
Yes, I have no doubt about that. But as a former
We looked into the family. Both parents are merchants, and they're often away on business.
Oh, what you don't have to seal. We have to show them how.
The relevant authorities have already reviewed the evidence and are now discussing Araka's punishment. You can hold on to the letter for now. Just make sure to return it within a couple of days.
Oh, so you'll be able to close the case in 2 days.
Give or take.
Very good. Well, thank you for all your help. Perhaps we can all go for a meal together. Oh, my treat, of course.
My apologies, Sir Cyrus, but I have a prior commitment. Enjoy the meal, everyone.
Ah, I see. Well, that's a pity. But Sino, you have to come. You found the culprit at record speed, and I owe you for that. Ah, and isn't Tainari in town at the moment? Bring him along, too.
Wait, you mean Tainari's in the city?
He is. Tainari's master, Sir Nephis, called him and Kale to the academia to help out on a project. They should be at Nephis's office at this hour. Though I must say, I'm surprised you're extending an invitation to Tainari. Did you do something to offend Sir Nephis?
Don't be outrageous. Nephis offends me all the time. It's never the other way around. Anyway, hurry up and fetch Tainari. I'll head over to the tavern with the Traveler and Paimon. See you there. Go on now. Don't keep us waiting.
It's time to move on. We shouldn't stay here. I do hope the Knights of Favonius are all working hard.
Not to brag, but we never had problems like this at Ratawa Hist back when I was still teaching. And if you don't want, it was students at the...
I was out in the forest. Most of what I...
Professors become a...
Wow. It's hard enough to stay true to your principles as a normal person. I can't imagine doing that as a sage.
It's a pity Kale wasn't around at the time. I would have happily taken her on as a student.
And then we'd have one more person who has to address Lisa as upper-class woman.
Really? Can't you just call her Lisa? She seems to prefer it when people treat her like an older sister.
Oh, believe me, back when she was a student, nothing made her happier than the younger students acknowledging her seniority.
Whoa, more food? Are you sure about this? We don't want to take advantage.
Oh, don't worry about it. Order whatever you like. And if it's not enough, order some more. After all your help today, treating you to dinner is the least I can do.
I thought I heard some familiar voices. Ah, and Sir Cyrus is here as well.
Oh, Kave, it's been a while. Zahahadi was talking about you last month. How have you been?
I've been all right, thank you. You're looking very well, sir. I'm glad to see it.
Have you eaten yet? Care to join us?
That's awfully kind of you, but I had a late lunch, so I'm not really hungry just yet. I'll have dinner a little bit later tonight. I just came to Lombard's to buy some wine, and when I heard some voices I recognized, I thought I'd come and say hello. So what's the occasion, anyway? Some sort of celebration?
Consolation, more like. You wouldn't believe the day I've had.
Sounds like things have really gone downhill since I was there. My whole time as a student, I've never heard of anything remotely like that.
I can't believe how young the guy is. What are his parents going to think?
Young people are always more susceptible to making rash and ill-advised decisions. Their minds are still, but still.
Wow, yeah.
I will always be watching you and all of your secrets. And then he just followed you into the house of Dana?
If this were my son, he'd get the scolding of a lifetime.
Luckily, I'm also an extremely principled person.
Kave! Your order's ready, sir!
Coming. I'll have to get going. Have a nice evening, everyone. I'll catch you all another time.
Okay, bye-bye!
Here I am. The coffee beans are in here.
Yep, it's all there. I'll stop babbling away now. Let's eat before the food gets cold.
Oh, too tasty. Paimon's belly is about to explode.
Oh, mine too. I'll have to walk home to burn some of it off.
Thanks for dinner, Sir Cyrus. Master Tainari and I will bring you some homemade herbal tea next time. It'll do wonders for your sleep.
Well, I look forward to that. In fact, could I trouble you to bring a little extra for the other old folks on my street? I'll be the envy of the neighborhood.
No problem at all. I'll pack some up and bring it over.
I'll see you all later.
Good night, Professor.
Hey, my tomatoes are serious business. I am not about to be beaten by Zaha Hadi. Anyway, I'll be leaving now. Don't stay up too late now, children. I bid you all a good night.
Take care. Have a safe trip home.
All right. Now, we finally have some us time.
What do you mean, us time?
Well,
Camping? Oh, that sounds fun. Paimon's in!
Right?
Everyone, no need to bring anything.
You got it.
great.
Makes me laugh every time.
It's time to move on. We shouldn't stay here.
Makes me laugh every time. every time.